Shalom, shalom. I like to start off first and foremost by giving all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Kakadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles, a great millstone who rule and teach well. Peace, love, salutations, and blessings to those that are doing this work in truth and sincerity. This is your brother Nathan Yala coming back at you through the Spirit with another lesson, and I pray I hope this lesson is edifying. Now, in this lesson, I just as a matter of fact, I'm just going to start off with this precept. This is Daniel 2:31, and it says, "Thou, O King, sawest, and behold, a great image. This great image, whose brightness was excellent, stood before thee, and the form of thee was terrible. The image of the head was of fine gold." And these are the different empires, starting with the Babylonian Empire, the Medo-Persian Empire, the Grecian Empire, the Roman Empire, all the way down to America and Babylon. So, with the head being the Babylonian Empire. Okay, so so reading that again, it says, "Thou, O King, sawest, and behold, a great image. This was an image whose brightness was excellent, and stood before thee, and the form of thee was terrible. The image's head was of fine gold, his breast and his arms of silver, his belly and his thighs of brass, his legs of iron, and his feet of iron, and part clay." Now, this is the precept that I wanted to focus in on. His legs were iron, and the iron is speaking of the Roman Empire, okay? And the feet of part iron and part clay is talking about America, NATO, and the EU. Okay. Now, this video that I'm about to play, and what that represents, the part iron and part clay, which means they're going to be partly joined together and partly separated. They're going to agree on some things and disagree on some things. Okay. They're not finally fit together as one strong empire. All right. So I'm gonna play this video because he's gonna start going into it. In the first part of the video, he's gonna say some of these countries, these NATO nations, are with what they're doing in Ukraine, and some of them are not.
For a little bit, so make sure you slide through when you're moving. But we left off right here with basically NATO, not all of NATO, some counterparts of NATO said, hell no, we're not doing none of that shit y'all talking about, saying that they need to start attacking targets inside of Russia. So it seems like Putin's men are egging them on to show some type of power and force. They're coming to him saying, hey man, look, I know you don't.
So you see, he said at the beginning of the video, some of the NATO nations are like, nah, we don't want to do this. And some of them like, yeah, let's do it. You see? So they're divided. Okay, and as the scriptures say, a house divided against itself cannot stand. So you see that these NATO nations are not fitly joined together. It's like clay and iron. Like you got some that are for it and some that are like, yeah, we don't want to do that. Okay, now this is a problem because this is a divided house, which shows you the condition of Esau. But ultimately this goes into prophecy. So listen to a little bit more, because it's also, I might do a secondary video about that in regard to the World War III that's about to happen.
I want to strike first, but I think it's a smart idea because they might hit us first. If you don't want to hit nobody first, at least pop that shit off and show the whole world what it looks like. If NATO continues to go forth with what they're doing, hit their ass. Y'all know I had to add a little twist to it, but what's really going on is Putin advisors suggest first test a nuclear explosion with a mushroom broadcasted live around the world through media, and then if NATO continues to come forth, send that big shit. I mean, where would they do it at? I don't feel like they would do a NATO country if they're going with this tactic, to just show it to the world. I feel like Ukraine is that common ground that might just be.
So you see that he's talking about how, Russia's talking that big boy shit, man. Hey, they want to blow something up. So we get into that point. We get into that World War III point, okay? So I'm going to go into Daniel, the 7th chapter. And I'm going to start at verse 7. And it says, "After this I saw in the night vision, and behold, a fourth beast, and dreadful, and strong, and exceedingly, and it had great iron teeth, and it brake into pieces and stamped the residue with the feet of it." Okay? "And it was diverse from all of the beasts that was before it. And it had 10 heads." And this is speaking of the Roman Empire, ultimately going into NATO and the EU. Okay, because the Roman Empire going into the Book of Maccabees, right? When you go down to verse 13, it says, "But their friends and such as relied upon them kept amid." I'm sorry, verse 13. Also that whom they would help to the kingdom, those reign, and whom again they displaced. So if you became tributaries to the Roman Empire, you were good, and the Roman Empire would defend you. But if you didn't, then they would tear you up. Finally, that they were greatly exalted. Yet for all of this, none of them wore crowns or was clothed in purple to be magnified thereby. Because this is why when you go into Daniel, the seventh chapter, it said this one was diverse in all the rest of the beasts, because they ruled differently. Prior to that, you had a monarchy where the king would leave his kingdom to his son, and so on and so forth. And that's how it was for all known history up into the Roman Empire. Okay. All right. So this made it to where they were diverse. All right. And it says, moreover, how they had made for themselves senate houses, wherein 320 men stayed in council daily, consulting a way for the people, to the end that they may be well ordered. So this is the same thing that we have going on here in America. We have then they had Pelagians and the Etruscans, I believe, and then here we have the Democratic and Republican Party, and then they had Caesar, which Caesar was a figurehead, and then you had the President of the United States, which is also a figurehead. You see, so this is how America was diverse. Now, America also, when you go back to Daniel, the 7th chapter, right, and you read this, and it says, I believe these little horns, if I'm not mistaken, was Spain, Britain, and France. They were plucked up by America through the Spanish, French, American War. America took the power, all right, and rooted them up. So I'm going to continue on verse 8. I didn't read verse 8. It says, I considered the horns, and beheld, there came up among them another little horn. And this little horn is America. This little horn came out of Britain, right? Britain was birthed from Rome, and Rome birthed America. And before there were three of the first horns plucked up by the roots. And that's, I believe, they're speaking about France, Britain, and Spain through the Spanish-American-French War. And behold, in this horn there were eyes like the eyes of a man, and a mouth speaking great things. Okay, so this is talking about America and the EU, and the countries that came before it. All right. So now that we got, we went over that, we're showing that going back into Daniel, the 2nd chapter, that all of these allegiances, all of these alliances that came through NATO or the EU, they're not solid alliances. And NATO is being broken down. And that's why you have some that are aligned and some that are not. Because some already know what's going to happen. It's going to be a thermonuclear war that's going to kill everything. They know this. They know Russia is not playing. Russia is going to destroy this place. All right? They know that once these missiles get shot off, there's no turning them back. Okay? So continuing on, so now we're going to go to Obadiah. We're going to go to Obadiah, and Obadiah 1 and 3, it says, the pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rocks, whose habitation is high, who said it in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Though thou exalted, that's not what I wanted. Oh yeah, I'm gonna start at verse 1. It says, the vision of Obadiah, thus saith the Lord concerning Edom, we have heard a rumor from the Lord, an ambassador is sent among the heathen, arise, yea, and let us rise up against her in battle. These are all of the other nations rising up against Edom. Okay, because this is actually happening right now. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen, thou art greatly despised. So we're seeing all of and it's not just talking about the other nations despising him. It's talking about him being despised within his own nation, his own people despising each other. This is a house divided. All right. And it says, the pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rocks, whose habitation is high, saith the Lord, who said in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Though thou exalt themselves as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence I will bring thee down, saith the Lord. Okay. Now I'm going to go down to verse 7. It says, all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee. See, at one time, America was at peace with all of its allies. America is no longer at peace with his allies anymore. His allies are turning against Babylon. All right. And this is all prophecy. This is all prophesied back in Daniel, the 2nd chapter. This was talking about the 10 toes. You see? So the 10 toes, that we got established that America is a carbon copy. America is the image of the beast. This is why the beast is the Roman Empire and America is the image of the beast. And this is why we're seeing right now in this time period that we're in, we're seeing America just like the Roman Empire. You got Roman numerals, you got the Senate House, you got the president, okay? You got all of these different organizations to govern the people just like Rome. You got the bread and circus just like Rome. You got the devaluation of the dollar just like Rome. So it is the rulership, how America creates garrisons in other countries, so basically military bases in other countries. So it's the same deal. America is the image of the beast, okay? Now, what we're waiting on now is for that mark of the beast, and that's going to be happening soon. This is why Russia hasn't attacked, because the mark of the beast has not been made mandatory. All right, and it will become mandatory very soon. All right, and it says, "Shall not in that day," speaking of the days that are coming in the future, saith the Lord, even destroy the wise men out of Edom and the understanding out of the mount of Esau. This is happening right now. Esau don't know. He think he knows, but he don't know. He can't keep up with how fast his lies are being revealed. Okay, Esau can't keep up with how quickly his lies are being revealed to the world. All right. So all of his stuff is being searched out, and all of his understanding on how to hide and deceive and manipulate people is falling through. And it says, and the mighty men of Teman shall be dismayed to the end that every one of the mount of Esau shall be cut off by slaughter. Now look at the military in America right now. It ain't got soft. You got women in there. You got these transgenders in there. You got all of these different groups in that military now. America does not have the same military might that it did before, to where these other nations are challenging America. Like, hey, what's up then? So what you're seeing now, going back to the original, is the separation or the division of Esau and his in the NATO nations. All of his allegiances are being broke up. All right. So real soon it's going to be every man for himself. All right. All of the governments are going to just shut down and start doing their own thing, because everything is about to break down and collapse. And they're going to blame America, because guess what? America has had the world reserve currency and had been running the world for 100 years almost. So if you've been running the world and you've been in control of everything and you done ran everything into the ground, who the hell is to blame? You are. Okay, you are. And America is trying to maintain whatever type of authority that it has through military might, and all of the other nations are like, nah. Going back to let's go to Joel real quick. Just real quick. Let's go to Joel, the 3rd chapter. Joel 3:9. It says, "Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up, Beat your plowshares into swords, and your pruning hook in the spears. Let the weak say, I'm strong. Assemble yourselves, and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about thither. Cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Let the heathen be awakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, mountain of troops. For there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. You see, so this is why all of these forces are gathering down into that valley, because the Lord is bringing forth these prophecies. This is why there's a separation of Esau and Edom, because the Lord is bringing forth these prophecies. Okay, so hey, we're in a very exciting time. It's very for the men of the Lord, where we're seeing this prophecy actually come to pass. So with that, I'm going to end this off by giving all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem, Rakha Double honor to the elders and the apostle, great millstone, and to Nick Samakim, I say shalom.